Hello Philippines and hello leaders. This is your host, Dexter Badol, BS English student from Green Valley College Foundation Incorporated. And you're listening to Martes Daily Podcast, the podcast that promotes socializing, interpretation, correction, entertainment, and education. If you're new to our podcast, you're in the right place. I can't wait to share with you our daily information, so stick around. Before we're going to start our podcast, let's give our appreciation to our major sponsor, Green Valley College, a collegiate school that builds value-adding leaders in our community. Right now, our podcast will be tackled about communication and globalization, vice versa. But before anything else, let's welcome our guest for the day, Miss Rhea V. Longanilla, Miss Rulin P. Layam, and Miss Sarish Loyola. They are first-year B.Ed student at Green Valley College. So, our guests, how was your day today?
Hello, good day. I'm doing great, and it's an honor to be part of your show for today.
Hello everyone, I had a great day today, thank you.
Hello, thank you for asking. I'm doing great.
Okay, that's good to hear. We all know that globalization and communication create the sense of value for us, so we will provide our question and our guests to give us a further understanding about our topic. So, this question first is, what is communication?
Well, communication, let us characterize communication first. Communication as a dynamic, as it is constantly changing because it relies on human perception that change over time. Therefore, it is irreversible and unrepeatable. It is continuous as it is ongoing exchange of meaning-sharing behavior between individuals who operates with frame of experiences. It is adaptive as it adjusts to changes that occur in its physical and psychological environment. It is systematic as it involves components that are interrelated and interacting in a cyclic order. And lastly, as it is transactional, every communication is a unique combination of people, messages, and events.
So for me, communication is an act of transferring information from one place, person, or group to another. Communication also focuses on how people use messages to generate meanings within and across.
The number 2 question is, how communication creates a foundation of human relationship and how communication vital in human life. For me personally, as a podcaster, as an experience, podcast is such an instrument to give people some insights and prior knowledge about everyday living, and it connects people to disseminate those info that everybody wants to hear, and also in a form of different media. So, how about you, our guest?
Communication plays a pivotal role in reducing misunderstandings and eventually strengthens the bond among individuals. A relationship loses its charm if individuals do not express and reciprocate their feelings through various modes of communication. A healthy interactions is essential for a healthy relationship. Communicating help people to express their ideas and feelings, and at the same time help us to understand emotions and thoughts of the other person. Through the process of communicating, we develop affection or hatred towards other people, and positive or negative relationships are created.
So, communication is a valuable part of building relationships and friendships. Also, using words, body language, and other nonverbal cues. Our listeners will be able to understand our thoughts, needs, and wants. So, it helps development between humans. Humans communicate not only by face-to-face, but also by giving information via internet.
Thank you so much. At this juncture, the question is, what is globalization, and in what way does globalization facilitate the business, especially in communication, and what is the role of communication in globalization, vice versa?
Well, communication and globalization are two phenomena that are linked to each other and are inseparable, especially due to the advent of technology in the 21st century. First of all, let us characterize what globalization is. Globalization is interconnectedness. When we have someone to talk to from the other side of the world, we can. There are lots of means because nowadays the power of internet give us the opportunity to connect everywhere because of the apps and websites circulating in the internet, which was supposedly impossible when we think about the earlier communication process. If we could remember from our past lessons, during the early years, people need to send letters and wait for several weeks, even months, to get responses. So when we say a meeting, doing business such as trading, we have to go to the location to be present physically for project proposal and sort of things. But right now, with the power of technology, with just a click of the hand, we can get connected already through Zoom, through Gmail. Distance is never a hindrance when people do businesses transactions, as it is now available online. We are not limited by geographical distance or by physical restrictions and boundaries. Secondly, globalization is interdependency. So what do we mean by this? So we see that in the globalized community, we are very much intertwined when it comes to our economies. Our economies are very interdependent with each other, and this primarily due to international trade and capitalism, which that's powered by the technological advancement we have nowadays. Exportation and importation is a feature of globalization. So we see how the flow of information, the flow of businesses, and the flow of capital. Globalization speed up of movements and exchanges of human beings and services and capitals and technologies or cultural practices all over the internet.
So, globalization represents the exchange of ideas, values, and expressions among cultures. Globalization also represents the trend toward the development of a single world culture. Also, globalization connects business and customers across the world. So, globalization is a paramount because individuals from different countries, ethnicities, and languages, cultural attitudes, and other variations must understand one another so that they can express themselves to another effectively in order to work together.
Globalization is the word used to describe the growing interdependence in the world's economies, cultures, and populations brought about by cross-border trade in goods and services, technology, and flows of investment, people, and information.
Globalization means globe, or we were talking about worldwide, which is the countries or nations come together for its purpose. And today our podcast recall us to learn whether globalization and communication impact is neither good or bad. It is just how people deal with all possibilities in the future. So, this has been Marites Daily Podcast about globalization and communication. I'm your host, Dexter Badol, together with our guest.
I would like to thank Sir Dexter Badol for having us here. It was a great pleasure imparting our ideas in communication and globalization. As a millennial, we are so lucky enough to witness the transition of this technology. As for our viewers, we are hoping that you learn something from our podcast. That would be all. This is Roland Joy. Thank you, everyone.
I am Cherish Leola, BA Ed 1.
I am Rhea Longanilla, BA Ed 1 student.
You can tweet us at Marites Daily Podcast or email us at mdpodcastingca. Join us again next time for more podcasting tips and tricks from industry pros. Thank you for listening and have a blessed day ahead. Bye!